How are we doing, folks? Welcome back to the Nightmare Cabin. Yes, I'm back after another long gap. I can promise you the long gaps are going to stop. I went away on holiday for 3 weeks and I just... getting around to doing a video was just getting harder and harder, and the little windows of free time I had were just getting smaller and fewer and further between. I've just been really busy. When I started this channel, it was during lockdown and really a case of not having much else to do. And yeah, just as things are getting back to normal as much as we can hope for, and hopefully it'll stay. Yeah, I'm just finding it harder to do stuff, but a lot of things that I've had have cleared now, especially a 3-week holiday. So yes, I'll be doing a lot more videos now. I've got a big pile of CDs to work the way through. I'll be doing them one at a time. I've got a new series coming up as well, a new band's catalogue, which I'll be doing an album at a time with a guest, a new co-host. I'll be doing another show with Luke as well, Luke from Maidencast. We're going to be doing, I'm not going to tell you yet, it's going to be a surprise. And I'm also been contributing to a new show on Odyssey, and when that goes up, I'll put up a video with a link in the description when that's out as well. Still a music show, but from a slightly different angle. I'll explain more when the time is right. So yeah, let's get on with it. This is the first review in a while. This is the album from Corpsegrinder, the debut solo album from Jules Corpsegrinder Fisher, of course the frontman of Cannibal Corpse. The artwork says it all, basically. You know who he is, you know what to expect, and you know what you want as well, didn't you? Bit of background really, this is the new project in an ongoing series, it looks like, with Jamie Jaster. An offshoot of his podcast. He ended up with a team of guys writing and recording and producing the last 2 solo albums by Dee Snider. It was For the Love of Metal and Leave a Scar. And that was with Charlie and Nick Belmore, 2 brothers that are also involved with Jamie Jester's side project with Kirk from Crowbar, Kingdom of Sorrow. Yeah, I don't know how it started, but it was basically, let's put that down there, bear with me 1 sec. Jamie was saying to Dee Snider in the podcast, like, when are you going to do another metal album? He was saying, you know, I'm getting long in the tooth for that, and do people really want one? And Jamie kind of held him to it and got him, yeah, and they basically did For the Love of Metal, and then the follow-up, Leave a Scar. And that same team have now done this with Corpsegrinder project. So the music is written by Nick Belmore and Jamie Jaster. The lyrics are written by Jamie Jaster, and Nick does all the drums, and Nick's brother Charlie does all the guitar and bass. And between Nick and Jamie, they've produced it, recorded it, etc. All the music, but the vocals are recorded in Eric Rutan's studio, and Eric's also contributed as solo on the opening track Acid Vat. That's the back cover there. Overall, it's it basically, it doesn't stop for breath. It kicks straight into it. This is a 31-minute album, and it doesn't let up. It gets straight down to the point. 10 songs. Not a single song hits the 4-minute mark. Let's have a look at the track listing here. Yeah, 3 minutes and 30 seconds is the longest song on here. Yeah, and George is basically doing what George does. This, obviously, it isn't a million miles away from Cannibal Corpse. I mean, George has basically become the archetype death metal frontman. You know, the Metalocalypse has based their main character on him. You know, he's become pretty much a cartoon figure on this, a zombie fighting death metal frontman. And yeah, it's that whole persona that is Corpsegrinder is just basically encapsulated in this album. It's a good fun 31 minutes. Yeah, obviously it's not a million miles from Cannibal Corpse. Opening track Acid Vat is slightly more melodic than what you would expect in places in far as the guitar riffs. Obviously Eric Rutan contributes solo, which is obviously going to be awesome. Songs like Bottom Dweller and Crimson Proof, like it's not really a problem, but it's just something that is apparent. You can hear Jamie Jaster on these songs. The way the lyrics and the vocal patterns, you can, like Crimson Proof in particular. I could while I was listening to it, I was just picturing Hatebreed. I could see Jamie's movements as the song was going on, like the way he just does that with the thing and gets the crowd going. I'm not, and it's all good. Jamie Jaster's a fucking fantastic frontman, and Hatebreed are one of the best live bands. You can take or leave their album, but they pretty much will take on anyone live. They're a great live band, and but yeah, he's sort of settled into a formula, and you can, even when he's writing for another person, it's just like, this just sounds like a Hatebreed song, or sounds like something Jamie would write and sing. That aside, kind of disconnecting that, it's a good fun album. Like I say, it's still death metal primarily, but there's a lot more emphasis on groove, and there's a lot more that sort of hardcore bounce is in a lot of the songs. And like I say, it's as if, obviously, Jamie Jaster's into death metal, from what he says on the podcast, from who he interviews, from the t-shirts he wears, he's into death metal. And I think Hatebreed could never go death metal. They're a hardcore band, and you know how things go when you shift, But if Jamie Jaster just went to Hatebreed, fuck it, we're gonna do a death metal album, you can kind of imagine this is what it would be like. Death is the only key. It's kind of slow and groovy. It starts off kind of slow and doomy, and then builds up into a groove. Got a pretty cool melodic solo in that as well. Master of the Longest Night. The opening riff is pretty cool and atmospheric, quite dark. That was the only song on there really which kind of conjured up a bit of a horror, spooky kind of atmosphere, but again settles into a good groove. The last track, Vaguely Human, is just a 2-minute sculpture, and it's not earth-shaking, but do you really want it to be? I would give this a good solid 7 out of 10. It's not essential. Get it if you can. And obviously, if you're a Cannibal Corpse fan, this is a great, little item to slot in to the collection, and just adds to the whole thing. So obviously, if you're a fan of Monstrosity and Cannibal Corpse, and Paths of Possession for that matter, then yeah, why wouldn't you get it? It's a good fun record to have. It's a half hour of no nonsense, good metal with some good grooves, some good riffs, and who doesn't like Corpsegrinder at this point? So yeah, a worthy listen and worthy addition to your collection if you can get hold of it. I know that you can only get it from one place, and postage was a bit leery to begin with when I went to order it originally, but I checked again and it had gone down, so hopefully it's a bit easier to get hold of. But yeah, definitely worth checking out, especially if you're a Cannibal Corpse fan. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'm back now, and more stuff to come in the coming days. I've found my rhythm again, so thanks for waiting and thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Take care.